Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you a movie review. This time we're going to be talking about The Rezort, which is a 2015 zombie horror film, British zombie horror film, I guess I should say. Like I said, it came out back in 2015. It was directed by Steve Barker and starred Dougray Scott, Jessica De Gouw, Martin McCann, and others. So yeah, this one's available on Netflix, so you guys can check out yourselves for free if you have a Netflix account. The main reasons why I watched this one myself was, well, one, because it was on Netflix, so I could just watch it instead of like trying to buy it somewhere or something. It's also, a zombie movie. I still enjoy a zombie movie, here and there for sure. I'm still a big horror movie fan. And, yeah, even though a lot of zombie movies are going to have, like, the, deep, engaging characters or, like, the really, interesting story, I still enjoy, a basic zombie film. I still go back and watch, some of the old zombie films or, new ones that pop out that I do actually think have some weight to them. And this one was alright, it was really just, it's like a modern, B movie, really. It's like a modern, another modern George A. Romero film, really, which isn't really a bad thing either, you can still enjoy those. It also kind of reminds me of them because it does have, like, not a political agenda, but sort of like a message, within, its premise and everything like that, or like or sort of like a parallel to our society anyway, which was a lot of times present with George A. Romero's films. I was saying the reasons why I actually watched it myself. Another reason is because of Jessica De Gouw, who plays the main character in this movie, the main female, and really our protagonist. Of course, a lot of you probably know her as a huntress from Arrow on the CW, but when I think of her, I personally think of her as Mina from Dracula TV series. First, that's a show I still really, really miss, man. So I kind of watched it for her, and just because it was a zombie movie, I was just kind of in the mood for just a zombie type of ride, I guess. And overall, like I said, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was actually maybe a little bit better than I was expecting. It feels like it is a level above like a sci-fi original or something. It feels like a little bit higher quality than that, I guess. The premise, I'll briefly read that real quick. After humanity wins a devastating war against zombies, the few remaining undead are kept on a secure island where they are hunted for sport. When something goes wrong, shocker, with the island security, the guests must face the possibility of a new outbreak. So yeah, it's basically what the quotes say, like when you look it up. It's Jurassic Park meets The Walking Dead, and that's essentially what it is. I mean, you have Jessica De Gouw's character, Melanie, and she sort of like questions the whole setup of this resort, this island. There's characters like her that don't think they should be hunted for sport or treated like that. They think they should just be given mercy, like on like Z Nation or something. But they should just be like put at peace, and they shouldn't be used for that kind of thing. Then you have people like her, her boyfriend in the movie. I forget if it's her boyfriend or fiance or something, but Lewis, I think that's him. Yeah, I guess. Okay, anyway, who fought in the war, and thus he has like more of a grudge built up against the zombies, or he's more wired to hold on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, but then you have like her, boyfriend Lewis, who fought in the war, and he's seen a lot of personal tragedy, so he kind of has a hard time thinking of giving them that peace that people he cares about didn't get. Although I'm sure Melanie, she knows this loss as well, but you can't kind of take that out on everything forever. So there's kind of like a humanity type of debate with that, which was somewhat interesting, and it sort of made, I don't know if I should say made sense, but it kind of works for people having those perspectives on it. I thought that was actually one of the more well-written parts of the movie, I guess. Although there's only a couple scenes where they really go into that a whole lot. Otherwise, it's just like looks at each other here and there that question the other. But there is actually a fairly good scene between Jessica De Gouw's character and a character named Sadie, played by Elen Rhys. She turns out to be part of this activist group, Live 2, or They Live 2, or something like that. I forget the name of it. Who is just completely against them being hunted or killed and things like that. There's a very good scene where they go back and forth talking about it. So yeah, like I said, the movie was alright. The best thing about it, though, is probably the setting and the environment. Like I said, it's on the island. I think they actually filmed in Spain or something like that. And it looks great. I mean, there's some really nice looking shots, I think. And I've been playing Dead Island again lately, so it kind of reminds me of that. It reminds me of like Dead Island mixed with like the Dead Rising video game conspiracies. I really like the first Dead Rising, by the way. I just think they got too over the top, because the first one actually had some decent story stuff in it, but after that, I just kind of got too overboard with the gameplay and stuff like that. But it sort of gives off like Dead Island and Dead Rising vibes, just maybe not as over the top. But as far as like other movies go, I would say it's somewhat unique. This stuff has kind of been touched on before in both movies and games, but it's not quite as common in films anyway, at least with the setting and things like that. So it's not the most unoriginal thing, but at the same time, there is a definite sense of familiarity just with the way the characters act, and mainly the way the plot plays out. It's fairly predictable with what characters die and what ones don't. And how it happens, it's really common to see the way these types of things go down. Like I said, the environment looked great. The acting in it's alright. Jessica De Gouw does a fine job. She wasn't too bad. I won't say this is the best performance of hers I've seen, but she does alright. Dougray Scott, I know I've seen him on something else, I just can't remember. He's just like this war-torn, kind of badass in the lead, a silent, strong type. We don't find out too much more about him, but him and Melanie end up getting along. He turns out to be more trustworthy than her boyfriend, who just kind of turns out to be a little bit more selfish because he actually leaves Melanie behind at one point. Dougray Scott, though, does okay. The rest of the cast is fine too, but there's no real like standout performances, I don't think. Although the actress who played Sadie, like I was mentioning before, Elen Rhys, I actually think was more emotive than anyone else. I'll be honest. And I was kind of disappointed with how they handled the Sadie character in the movie too. I thought she was the one with the most depth to explore, if any. But then she just kind of gets bit. Then she kind of just lets herself, be overwhelmed and everything. She lets herself fall behind. So I think it's kind of a waste because they didn't really give her like a full arc or anything like that. But again, what do I expect from this kind of movie? Let's see, I'm just trying to think of something else real quick. It does leave room for a sequel, and I would have minded seeing it, with all the sequels we get nowadays. But it's been too long we're not getting one. But and then the scene where this brimstone thing plays out, like where they bombed all the cities. They tried to bomb the island, and Melanie literally runs as the bombs are being dropped, and she jumps off just in time. That was a bit overboard, but again, you kind of gotta take it if you're gonna enjoy it at all, I guess. The effects, like the blood, looked fine. The zombie makeup looked pretty good. I've seen far worse. So yeah, overall the resort, I mean, with a Z instead of an S, for zombies, get it? Wasn't a bad time at all. It has a strong sense of things we've seen before to it, but the setting looks great, and it kind of brings like a slightly more slightly different look to it than what we normally see with these types of films. At least it started off at a different time in the zombie apocalypse than what we normally see. As opposed to like seeing it just starting and everything like that. This is like in the middle of it, and it has like it's not like just like a desert either, so it's a little bit different with that, I guess. The characters are pretty flat. The plot is predictable. The acting is just kind of okay, minus a couple scenes here and there, but it is what it is. I don't think it's a bad time. I don't think it deserves to be trashed or anything like that. It's honestly one of the more solid zombie films I've seen. But that's on a pretty big pile of shit, though. It's not one of my favorite zombie movies. It's not. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did Cooties recently. It's not Zombieland. It's not akin to like any of the more serious zombie films either. But it's somewhere in the middle there. It's not bad. I think it's watchable. And especially with it being on Netflix, you guys should just check it out sometime. It's not like a bad diversion for like an hour and a half or about however long it was. So yeah, let me guys thought about this one. If I had to rate it, I'd rate it about a C plus or B minus. I'd probably stick with a C plus though, honestly. But like I said, not a bad time, not like a complete waste or anything like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.